Welcome to Make Your Mark podcast, where guests share their experiences, insights, and tactics to help you accelerate your business. So building, scaling, and monetizing your business is made easier. And I will be your host, Suthar. Oh my God, guys, I have an exciting guest for you today. He has been sought after by multi-seven-figure companies as they go to for filling rooms with the right people. He has created returns as high as 3,221% and has mentored with some of the biggest direct response marketers of all time, including Frank Kern, Dean Jackson, and Nicholas Kuzmich. He now helps speakers scale their business at will through his private agency and consultancy so they can invest even more time with their family and loved ones and less time working late hours, figuring out how the hell they're going to fill their rooms. He is here today to share with us why most people can't get Facebook ads to work for them and how to get even better results with a simple shift. Please welcome the amazing Victor Vento, Chief Messenger of Ventobot. Victor, welcome.
Thanks, Kay. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was what an honor to be here personally, because I know the way we got connected and whatnot. So I do greatly appreciate being here and be able to serve everyone and provide them with some action that they can take.
You know what? I am so glad that you came onto a show. I'm so appreciative for you to be here because I know you've got some crazy things, some, bombs to be showing to our clients today, to our audience today. People are going to be so overwhelmed by all the information you're going to give them. And I had to have you on the show. So thanks for being here today. So what I like to do is I always like to go straight into it because uncensored society are, we don't like fluff. We don't like BS. We go straight into the information and give people what they need. So before we really get into the nitty-gritty of everything, I would love for you to tell people a little bit about yourself and what you actually did before stepping in and building your own business.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been in business for the last 5 years. 5 years. So almost 6 now. At the end of this year, it'll be 6. So what got me into it in the first place was this whole, I think what gets most people into it, right? I went to school for game design, did software development, and was consultant for a software company and did a lot of stuff with R&D and really quality design and experience throughout the process of customer to buyer.
Right.
And one of the things I thought, I was like, well, I'm really good with code and I'm really good with this. And I was like, well, I could start my own thing. Why not? Right. I can make my own hours. I can make my own time. I don't have to work for somebody. That's, I feel when most people are like, I want that.
Yes.
Then not realizing what's actually, I was not realizing what's on the other side of that there is a lot more to it than just having that. You have to be a certain person to do those things, to have those things.
Right.
So it really, I stumbled across the first year or two and got into web design as my first initial way of going about it, and then realized quickly people don't want websites. They want what websites do for them. They want the customers. So that led to another thing, and then we started the marketing agency to kind of go along with that, and that's taken off since then. But I would say it wasn't about till last October, really, that I truly found the deeper reason why we do a lot of this stuff. And just to be fully transparent, business was fantastic, right? We're making over 6 figures and whatnot. However, it wasn't personally, I didn't feel fulfilled. There was something going on, the whole social media shows everyone oh, I'm happy, I'm successful and all this stuff, but not really. On the inside, everything was falling apart.
Oh, wow.
I got to a point where I actually was contemplating one night at 2 a.m, taking my own life, leaving my kids behind and my family behind. And it was a tough time for me. And this was all of October of last year, 2020. So it got to that point, and I realized I heard this little voice inside, and it called me to just open up a tab. And I was on Facebook, as I always ended up on, and just kind of mindlessly scrolling through on the desktop. And I happened to see an ad, caught my attention.
Yeah.
And the tagline spoke to me and resonated at the most deepest level I ever could have felt. And it said, "Escape from hell." And the copy like walked me through explaining exactly what I was going through and how I was feeling in business and in life, in marriage, with my kids, my wife, with everything, my body, health, like spiritually, everything. And so I clicked on it, and there was, of course, there was this video that I watched, and it offered a program, and I was like, okay, sure, I'm in. I was already bought in by everything so far. Now, at that point, I realized this wasn't like most programs where I'm sure everyone has bought something before, where you're kind of like, yeah, this was a different experience. You were like legit. I was all in. There was no turning back.
Right.
That program has forever changed my life.
Wow.
And like I would say, since then, my life is fantastically surreal. And that only happened because I saw an ad on Facebook.
Wow.
And it resonated with me it was 2 a.m. So organically, you can't really, like, who's going to be up at 2 a.m, like post on something, So like, but that's often where you find your best people, not that time, but it's just in general, right? So with ads, you can reach people at the right time, at the right place, exactly where they're at. And that truly felt like that was to me, I'm like, this is why I do it. Because there's people like this, like me, who need to hear a certain message, need to enroll into a certain program, need to be saved by something, need to be like led into something that they couldn't see themselves, so that they can do the work and save themselves. And that's what people with events do, right? That's what people who run businesses do. They have this mission to reach people. And that is, I feel like that's when I truly found like my calling of why I do it. So that I would say is what it was. And since then, I've just been like, I feel like it's just been easier and easier to help people achieve that now.
Wow. I mean, that is some story, Victor.
Yeah.
Well, that's mind blowing in itself. There's something that I need to let the audience know. I mean, you are a huge family man, right?
Yeah.
That family is everything to you. At what point did that change? And how did you manage to kind of balance building a business and also making sure you don't neglect your family?
That's been hard. So I think that's what led up to that point, because I was under this impression that with business, I think, again, and most people might start this way. They're like, I get into business because I want the freedom, and the freedom comes like I can now treat, like, why do we want it? It's not just because, I know there's some people that will want, like, I want to be rich and I want to have and like flaunt it. And that's great. Everyone wants that at a certain point. But then there's like, you get to a certain level to where you're like, I don't want just the things. I want what the things do. I want the experiences. I want to treat my family to vacations. I want to be able to go for a week-long vacation to this amazing national park and not have to worry about work and things like that. So the hard part at the beginning was I was so focused on the hustle of like, I'm going to grow the business. I'm going to grow the business, because once the business is grown, and here's the catch 22, right? Once the business is grown, then I can enjoy the freedom.
Right. Okay. So you got to wait until you've grown your business to a certain point before you can even enjoy that.
Yeah. And that was the mentality I had. Right? When in reality, it's not true. You don't have to grow the business to enjoy that. One of the beautiful things about running a business is you are the person, like, there are skills, foundational skills that you need, but outside of that, you can enjoy it while you grow. Right. I think what I found was there's power in investing time in your family, bringing that power into your business. How much more powerfully do you show up when you know that your kids like love you and you've invested time with them and they're like, have a wonderful day, Dad? Like, how much more powerful will you show up on a sales call? How much more powerful will you show up in your marketing?
Wow. Okay. Again, that's amazing things. And Do you know what? There's a picture behind you that you mentioned on a previous call. Explain
right.
to
Yeah.
our viewers what that means to you, what that picture is all about.
So yeah, it's a picture of 4 elephants. My wife's favorite animal is elephants. And I actually got it at a speaking engagement. I was with another colleague of mine, and it's a fun story. So one of the things I saw, everyone asks me all the time, why not lions? Because it represents my family, right? And I get this all the time. Why not lions? Why not lions? And here's what it is. And it's so I love this because I get asked all the time what the lions, and people think like lions mean power, king of the jungle, and stuff like that. Here's the thing. It takes 2 male lions to take down a grown elephant. It takes 7 lionesses to take down a grown elephant. Elephants do not travel alone. And when they travel, the ground shakes. Animals move out of the way. Lions and elephants don't fuck with each other. They respect each other and they give each other space. So with my family, I walk and I go. People hear us coming and they move out of the way.
Oh, wow. That was powerful in itself. I love that. I've never actually thought of it that way. That's a completely different perspective. And I absolutely love it. You know what? I probably will steal that from you.
Yeah. Feel free to. Yeah, feel free to.
But all right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of business now and what you actually do. So I heard that, I mean, a lot of people have been already talking. I know that you are already serving one of my partners and filling his rooms, which was just crazy how we kind of, got together and realized that. But you have this uncanny way of kind of, filling the rooms with the right people, with the right audience, which is your superpower. Tell us a little bit more about that and how you actually bring results to people.
Yeah. So here's the fun part. We have yet to really talk about Facebook ads other than what I mentioned. Facebook ads is my favorite way of doing it. Facebook, Instagram ads, they're all part of the same tree, right? And the reason is because it's not like most direct response marketing channels. For example, like Google ads or like YouTube ads. Facebook and Instagram ads, their platforms itself are social, right? I consider Facebook to be the television, and I consider Instagram to be the magazine, right? We like scroll through and watch image after image. We're kind of like flipping through the pages. There's an ad in between each page and everything like that every now and then. On Facebook, kind of the same thing. We watch video after video, and then there's an ad usually sometime in there. So I think what most people get wrong and why they can't make everything work on that side of things with the paid traffic is they focus so much on having the ad do too much. The ad itself is more meant from that perspective. We're selling here. Come to our event. We're having this cool event. We're going to change your life and blah, blah, blah. That's not what people are on there for. I don't go on Facebook to go buy something. I go on there to connect with people, to interact, to see what people are up to, what new business things people are doing in their business, and what's happening with family and around the world. So when we understand that perspective, we can create an experience from that. And you may have heard me say that word experience a lot because it's a big thing for me. Right. I'm very intentional with how we create it. So when we start where people are at and have a conversation, for example, in that one ad that I got enrolled with is like Escape from Hell. That spoke to me with where I was.
Right.
I was already having those conversations. I was looking around for things like that. I might have been lurking and not commenting because I was afraid of expressing it externally. But that's usually what an ad's supposed to do. It's supposed to resonate with someone on a deeper level.
Right.
And tell their story as if it was them, if it was you reading theirs.
Oh, right.
And that is inviting them to have a conversation with you. Once you have that conversation, the rest of the experience, the funnel, as what people most likely know it as, is what does the indoctrination and the selling. The sales page is called the sales page for a reason. That is what sells the stuff. But we start a conversation and we provide insight and value ahead of time by making the person feel understood. That is the value. That is how we provide value in advance. I know we hear that all the time. Provide value in advance. What the hell does that mean? It's help the person feel understood.
Right. So it means actually listening to them, find out where they're struggling, where their frustrations are, and actually having that solution and, and providing, a way out, a result, and to overcome these little obstacles that they have.
Yep.
Awesome. So, Victor, I've got to ask you, and our audience needs to know, what qualifies you as an expert in this field?
As a marketer, let's say I'm a parent. Parents are the absolute best marketers ever. Like, think about it. You have to get your child to do things they don't want to do.
Yes.
Like all the time. I have to get my daughters my oldest, my little one is starting to clean because we're kind of already planting that seed, right? We're pre-framing. Mm-hmm. But we're doing that with our oldest too, our 5-year-old. How do I get her to clean her bedroom? I say like, hey, let's get this room vacuum ready. And that she knows that there's an end result. Yeah. But she knows what I want too. And she knows how easy it is to get like, oh, okay, I just gotta pick up the stuff from the floor. But it's vacuum ready. And like that starts it. And then, just like you would in marketing, you create an experience. You start with an initial, I would say people call it lead magnets, right? You start with an initial lead magnet that gets a tangible result in advance. And then you go into the next step. What's after that? Now that the room's vacuum ready, okay, let's make sure it's dust ready so we can start dusting stuff. And you just start adding and adding and adding to it. You kind of create the experience along the way.
Wow. Do you know what? And I love that example that you've used about being a parent, right? Because even if, your understanding of marketing isn't very clear, that makes things very clear. And do you know what? People can start practicing on their kids now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can start getting your practice on and just kind of working out, where you need to make those tweaks and understanding marketing a lot more through parenting. That's amazing. Thanks for that example. A lot of people can take a lot away from that. So to my next question, do you have a principle? You've just given us an example of, parenting, but is there a principle that you can teach the audience today, something that they can relate and even apply immediately?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So here it is. You first have to know what it is you offer, right? Like, and I think people work at it backwards. They're like, okay, what am I going to offer people so I can get them to get to my bigger offer, whatever my working one-on-one, group coaching event, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have to first know the end and understand where you're at right now. So like knowing those two I would say, I want to say pinpoints, but those two targets, those two like flag poles of where you're at, where do you want them to go? And where are you at now? That is how you determine your path to get there. And that is how you determine the path to get people to get there. Because once you know those 2 points, you can very easily say, well, people aren't at this starting point yet. So as of right now, let's say if you're just starting out, right? As of right now, if they don't meet this qualification, then I say no to everyone else. It's easier said than done. I get it. Right. But that gives you the ability to stand out over everyone else because you're talking to this person only. And knowing where you're going, now you can create that experience to get there. For example, I wanted my daughter to clean her room. I start with the first step. Where are we at? Messy floor. So vacuum ready. First initial step. Right? If she doesn't have a room to begin with, then like she's not my target market. So right. But that's those two shifts, like understanding your endpoint and where you're at with people.
So I've got a question for you on that. You mentioned that you got to make sure that people are at that starting point. But when you're first starting out in business, right? Like you said, it's hard to say no because you want those clients. You need that money coming in. You need to build, right?
Yeah.
How can you say no at that point? aren't you going to be losing out in your business by saying no to those people when you're first starting out?
I love this question. Thank you for asking that, actually. So, yes, initially you will lose out on some initial revenue.
Okay.
What you will gain on the back end and what you will gain by saying no, it opens up opportunities for so much more. That first no and learning how to accept a no and learning how to say no and stand in it is going to save you so much money in the long run. Because at the beginning, I'm sure if you're anything like me, you're like, well, I got to be on here. I got to have a podcast. I got to have a book. I got to speak on stage. I got to run ads. I got to do organic. I got to do this. I got to do that. Learning how to say no to a client is so much more powerful when you can transition that also into other things. You can say no to things that don't serve you in life, in business. I don't need a podcast right now. I don't need a book right now. I don't need to speak on that stage right now. I don't need to run organic right now. I don't need to do Clubhouse. I don't need to do YouTube. I don't need to do XYZ, whatever new platform there is, right? So like you can say no to that, focus in on one, and you're going to get so much further ahead than everyone else.
But tell me this then, as a marketer, right? It's great to be on all these different platforms. Why would you say no to them? Wouldn't you just want to jump right in and do them all?
You want to, yeah. And here's the secret sauce to business that I've learned that people don't like to hear. If you're gonna be everywhere, you better have the money for it. Because if you don't, then it's not going to do anything for you.
Okay, I see. So you're better off just starting with one platform, building, bringing that money in, and then you can start spreading yourself all over the place.
Correct.
Right. Okay, I see. Do you have a few success stories that our audience can hear about that, you've helped people through?
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to hear about that 3,221% case study? Okay, everyone loves that. We spent $4.13 on ads and made $22,500.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Say that again. You spent how much?
$4.13 on ads and made $22,500 on the back end.
How the hell do you do that? Oh my goodness.
That's why I'm sought out.
That doesn't sound real at all.
I know it doesn't. And that's the beauty of it. So because it doesn't sound real. And I know I say that as it catches people's attention.
Yeah.
But everyone's skeptical. I'd be skeptical. I hear that and you're like, yeah, yes, okay, whatever. Here's how it worked. So this particular client, she was running challenges every month. And the way we did it was she had a strong organic strategy already.
Right.
So what we did was we added fuel to that and made what she had even better. This is why I say we scale with ads at will, because ads are really going to explode what you already have. If you have a crappy experience, you're going to have more crap. If you have a great experience, you're going to have an even better experience, and you're going to be able to scale at will like nothing. Right.
Okay.
So that is essentially what we did, right? We took what she was doing and we made it even better with ads. We kind of surround sounded the people that she was already indoctrinating into her world organically, and we exploded that. So she saw an even bigger return. That was month 2. The first month, that was month 1. Month 2 was a very similar. We spent $7, made it around the same.
Oh my
so
God.
We spent a little bit. We spent $3 more, right? But still, it's not as cool as the 32.21%. Now that's one case study.
Right.
Here's one that's more realistic. Let's say, for example, if you've never run ads before, or you don't have a strong organic game or a following or anything like that. So in my case, what we did was we ran ads to a call funnel. It was essentially because I was trying to get people into my agency, and we created an experience for them. I think overall, over the course of the campaign, I spent $1,000, maybe a little bit more. And what we got from that was we got 2 clients. Now, my clients are not, I don't want to say I'm not cheap, but I'm not for the beginner. So that to me is a 4 to 5x return on my, more than that. It's like 10x return. One client would be a 5x return. So I got the 2 10x return on that 1,000. Right. So that is how we did it. But I didn't have to pay that 1,000 until the end of the month. So over the course of that first month, I ran $1,000 in ads, got 2 clients at $5K, and made $10K, and I didn't have to pay the 1,000 until the end of the month. So like I could keep going. Right. So that is how I did it initially.
Got it. Oh, wow. Oh, God, those are amazing successes that you've had there. And you know what? People are going to want to know more about you. They're going to want to reach out to you. Guys, if you are struggling with Facebook ads or, getting your rooms filled, whether it's digital events or live events, workshops, challenges, whatever it is, then Victor is your guy. You have to contact him, speak with him, get on a call with him, find out more. Victor, where can people go to get some additional free support and be able to contact you?
Yeah, sure. So you can go to ventobot.com/15-VSL. That is it's like 14 minutes, 38 seconds, something like that video. It's almost a 15-minute video explaining the exact process we take. So it is an opt-in. Feel free to opt in. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you want to actually learn how we fill these challenges, events, workshops, then we use the same framework every time. And it's something you can go implement yourself. If not, if you want my team to take care of it, we can have a conversation with that on the back end. But that again is ventobot.com/15-VSL.
Wow, amazing. Guys, you'd be crazy not to take up this offer. Look, you've got to speak to Victor. He's an expert in his field. He's got a whole team. Get on a call with him. Go download this program, this video. Go find out how you do this. And if you want to know more, contact Victor. Victor, it was such a pleasure to have you on our podcast. Thank you so much for coming on board. And God, you've been throwing out some bombshells out there today. Thank you again.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries. Well, you take care, Victor. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Make Your Mark podcast at www.makeyourmarkpodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get this and every other episode that comes out. We have lots of great stuff coming, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. And thank you in advance for all the reviews and comments. I appreciate it so much, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.